Shadua's father, Deion Sanders, had a Nike deal in the 1990s when he was an NFL cornerback. Former USC quarterback Caleb Williams was named one of 8 captains for the Chicago Bears. Williams is the first Bears rookie to be named a captain since the team started naming captains in 2007. One more quarterback note, 15 of the 32 NFL teams will begin the regular season with a black quarterback as their starter. That tops last year's number of 14. Later today, we'll give you the names of all 15 NFL black quarterbacks in the starting lineup for Week 1. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, possibly 4 weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Money to bud.
This one I better do with the jabata. Me, I no get time, I did da. Dada cover my face, calling me la ba da.
And welcome back, KBLA Talk 1580. First things first, and I'm your host, Baba Akili. I'm sitting in for Dominique DiPrima, and we are moving to hour number 3. We've talked a little bit about what's been happening locally, like what's been happening in Torrance, and the fight there for the family of Christopher DeAndre Mitchell. We've talked about things nationally, and somewhat at the local level with our good friend Ed Sanders. Now we're moving to international with our guests in Uchenna Worldgroup. I hope I got that right. And Emily Alexander, they founded Africa Focus, and it is. I just went to their program 2 Saturdays ago, and they do the best I've seen in terms of really working to make the connection between Africa and African Americans in ways that are just very positive. And the family induction programs that they've been doing now, I think they're going on 19 years. Was just really moving. So I want to welcome to First Things First, Uchenna Worldgroup. Now, did I get it right, Uchenna?
Yes, you got it right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
And welcome to KBLA Talk 1580. And the first question I have for you is, what prompted you to do this? And you've been doing it now for over 20 years. And I know that you're Nigerian. So what prompted you to start African Focus, the tours that you do? I know Dominique is a part of it, and I've heard her show many times from all over Africa. What prompted you? What created this? And why did you get started in this?
Thank you, my brother, for having me.
And before you even go to there, tell us a little bit more about yourself, though, won't you? I know you're from Nigeria, but tell us a little bit about yourself, and then tell us why Africa Focus was started. A little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Well, my name is Uchenna, as you mentioned. I'm from Nigeria. I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria. Traditionally or culturally, I'm Igbo by ethnicity. And came from a large family. Education was one of the things that were so important in my family. In 1988, I came here to go to school, basically, and it is a combination of things that actually lead to the creation of the African Focus. My experience, all the huge marketing looking back now that my adopted country, America, have done in promoting America. I mean, you can't afford not to want to be to the States, to go to school, to party too as a young kid. So all roads lead to America, basically. I mean, I have friends that probably, hurt themselves because of lack of ability to come here. So getting here and meeting the reality and the meat in a way was shocking to me. I knew more about the soul trends and some of the movies and the parties,
the Hollywood America,
TV, the Hollywood aspect of America.
Yeah.
So when I get here, I see the brothers and sisters in a different light, in a different struggle. It really gave me a lot of pause, and I start to think, what would I have done, or what would I want people, my own cousins here, to do for me if the table were turned? At least I still know where I came from. I still know my generations. I still know my uncles. I'm from Nigeria, where the lawyers and the doctors and engineers and judges, maybe people from your own ethnic group or your own families. So, but here, everything is a struggle in a way. I'm not saying Nigeria is not a struggle, but it's a different, intense struggle, from resources to even walking down the street. So part of that, and also I met a young lady who I've been together now. We're married for more than 30 years now.
Well, that'll
which is
do
my
it.
wife, Emily.
Yes.
And that brought it home too. For me, is like, now I'm living with the experience in my house and also what I'm seeing going on in my own background. So the question becomes, the central question for me was, if I were born in America, how would I want the continental African cousins or brothers and sisters treat me? And that led to the African family induction in a way where I believe, enough of academic pronouncements. Oh, yeah, we all want brothers and sisters. We all from Africa, or Africans say, yeah, they are brothers and sisters. But what are we doing to create that bond, to bridge that gap in a meaningful way that is not just talk? And I don't have power in government. I'm not a president, but I realize one of the ways which is even more important is family ties. How do we begin to recreate and become the enabling environment, the opportunity, create opportunity for the brothers and sisters here to feel welcomed in a meaningful way as part of African families? But it wasn't easy. There was a lot of pushbacks on both sides. Like if you were in the event last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, I kind of mentioned about it. But the reality is that that's what gave birth to African Family Induction Ceremony, where continental Africans that are in the States, when I say States, in the Americans, open their families and tell their brothers and sisters, you can become a member of my family.
And that's always the most moving part for me. I was there last year and I was there this year. That is probably the most moving part for me. It's almost in many ways like returning home. What prompted you to start that whole family induction program, and what were some of the things that you felt you needed to do about it? And one of the things I want to do, because we're going to move forward here in a minute, But I want you to think about first why did you start the family induction program, and how do you make it work? And you bring the traditions with you. I saw it last year with the Ghanaian that was here, and I saw it this year with the brother I think was from Tanzania. So as we move forward, I want to continue this talk with KBLA Talk 1580. I'm talking with Uchenna with African Focus. Stay with us.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
We're thrilled to announce that the Dear Future Wifey podcast is now available on the Urban One Podcast Network. This show, hosted by Latiris R. Whitfield, explores the journey of discovering and rediscovering love and relationships. With over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, Dear Future Wifey has become a prototype for discussions about love and relationships. Learn how to rediscover love, heal, and have faith in relationships. Go to urbanonepodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
So the thing no one tells you about periods is that your flow changes every day, and so should your tampon size. Tampax has 5 absorbencies to match your changing flow. If it's uncomfortable to remove, go down a size. If it leaks, go up a size. And only Tampax has a leak guard braid to help give you up to 100% leak and odor-free protection. All-day comfort and protection for up to 8 hours for under $5 a month. Based on average U.S. consumer usage at manufacturer's suggested price, however, pricing is at the sole discretion of the retailer, excludes 8-count packs.
The moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. On Tuesday, September 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump will square off in their first ever presidential debate. KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress are hosting a viewing party, and we're inviting you to join us for an evening of civic engagement, great food, and good vibes. Our studio space is limited, but if you would like to join us, just go to our website at kbla1580.com and register for your chance to watch this historic presidential debate with us. Years from now, we're all likely to remember exactly where we were when this pivotal moment in American politics unfolded. So, register for your chance to join us by going to kbla1580.com right now. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
And welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580. This is First Things First. My name's Baba Akili, and I'm sitting in for Dominique DiPrima, and I'm trying to do my best because she sets such a high standard. And I'm on the phone with Uchenna Walgu. Great, I'm getting it better. Of African Focus Incorporated, and I got to tell you, I love Lagos and I love Abuja. When I was there, I really liked Lagos. And I really appreciated the Nigerian people. They were industrious. They were energetic. They would make it work. They'd figure it out. They would make it work. I was there for water issues because the state was trying to privatize the water in Lagos, and it was also trickled up to Abuja, and they were trying to do it nationally. So I was there to try to stop that. But I really liked and appreciated being able to go there and work with Nigerians. They were industrious, ingenious people. Y'all figured out a way to make it work. So given that, and you and Igbo, did you see something missing, or did you think that maybe we needed to make stronger connections, and then you thought, okay, the best way to do that, Africa Focus Incorporated. What did you see that needed to be done, and why did you, and this has been a labor of love, so why did you want to get it up and get it going?
Because, my brother, the reality is that we are family. Why wouldn't I reach out to my cousins who are taken away in the middle of the night in the farm or wherever to what we call a strange land? And you discover they survived. I mean, it's natural. You know, ancestors will want you to do that to reconnect with your own family. So the idea that people in both sides haven't paid so much attention in reconnecting our cousins, our families together, how can Africa survive without the brothers and sisters in the diaspora? Think about it. You know, we need to, what was missing is still missing. We need to promote more of our family values, meaning we need to bring our brothers and sisters back and share the destiny. Africa belongs to all of us. Whether they were removing forcefully or we survive in the continent, until we can rebuild our family structure. Who is an African? I always ask people that question. Most of the time, people looking on their side and figure out, am I not? But you should know by now that you are an African. Yes, you were born in the American continent, or you were brought here, or my own children were born here. They should never for one day think that they're no longer African or Nigerian or Igbos because you're born in the Americas. You know, so we need to rebuild the continent. We need to rebuild who we are, understanding who we are, and the road that took us to where we are at the moment gives us a better advantage to rebuild the continent in a personal way, even in a political, cultural way. So those things need to happen. And we just felt that, listen, all I can do is to make people part of my own family. And those who are also inducting other people, and to show how serious this is, we always bring a king from different African countries to see these two families take a vow, take that next step on reuniting, and the king blesses that reunion. It gives us a better sense of belonging, that this is not just a talk. We're not writing a essay here or something theoretical. This is practical way of taking that first step, reuniting Africans, continental Africans with their cousins in the diaspora.
And
so that's what gives, yes.
No, I was just going to say the program is just a beautiful program. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. And doing that, the next step is, okay, we in the Americans, people said, okay, why are you not doing it in Africa? Let's first say, there are huge Nigerian, African communities, whether Kenya, Cameroon communities in the U.S. here. If I get to know you here, it makes it easy when you and I go to Africa. You're no longer going as a tourist. You go in there, you're going to be embraced. Like Dominique went to Nigeria during one of the tours and met with her host families, her inducted families. They were in Lagos in full force and welcome her. That's what we're talking about. You need to build that bridge. You don't need to go just as a tourist. Even when we travel, with our tours, next year we're going to West. Next year we'll be heading to the West because you're going to South, we're going to East. It's natural that it may likely going to be West. I'm going to let Dominique be the one to announce where we're going and all of that for next year. But what I'm saying here is our people need to find a way to rebuild that which has been lost, which is our family ties. Everything is all about family. If you don't feel connected with the continent, how would you want to go there? How would you want to do business? And look at Africans. We're struggling to go to China and look for, no disrespect for our Chinese brothers and sisters, but why are we going to China to have them build our roads?
Yes.
Why are we going to Europe to have them build our electricity when the African Americans have all it takes? These are your people.
And
they build the Americans, for crying out loud. Why is our country not all over America scouting African American ingenuity and bringing them to rebuild the continent? But we are shying away from our own people because it's not trending. and it makes me a little bit sick that we are ignoring our own resources, our own people, and we claiming we want to rebuild the continent. How are you doing this?
Well, you are picking up from Marcus Garvey's line, and one of the lines that I appreciate about President Nkrumah was that he was born. He's an African not because he was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in him, and that's. I got a chance to spend some time in Ghana, and I went to the Nkrumah Center, and that statement is there, and I think it's a very accurate statement. How many countries have you all been to?
Oh, wow.
Can you remember?
I won't remember. It's hard to remember all of them, but in the last 7, 8 years now, we generally go to 2, 3 countries on our tours. We do what we call our main, and then we add on. Like this year, we went to Kenya, and we added on Tanzania. We went to Zanzibar as well. So each year, when we travel, whether we're in South Africa, then we add on Zimbabwe, or if we're going to do Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, or whatever, we always add something. We've been to Ethiopia, we've been to Tanzania, Senegal, we've been to, of course, Ghana, Nigeria, we've been to, Lord have mercy, many places actually, but, the goal is to make our tours very, very affordable and focused. So why are we there? And it's about our culture, it's about giving back, it's about, supporting the local businesses, and it's about the opportunity that KBLA has given, to us and as a collaboration here to be able to bring real information in real time to our people. When Dominique goes out there and broadcasts during the tours, talking to our people back home, what she's experiencing, what is on the ground, it's part of our collective agenda to make sure that people get the information that is pure and clear, not hand-me-down information that's been watered to achieve a certain goal. But when Dominic is out there talking to the local people, whether it is about the food, about the culture, about the governance, about the history, our people are getting it in real life, and that is one of the things that makes our tours and makes our collaboration more unique. And I thank the Travis Smiley's organization for the collaborative effort in making sure people get real-time information when we're doing our tours and when we are there. Dominic is talking to people live. I'm very much appreciative of that effort and that collaboration.
Well, and I look forward to it. The fact that she broadcasts from all the countries that y'all have been to together, and many of us look forward to it. And modern technology has been able to at least close some of the distance. Do you have, other than your own country, do you have some, other than Nigeria, that some countries that you that in your travels that you went to, you thought, oh wow, I didn't know this, or this is interesting, and I want to get your take on how do you plan for and accommodate 40 or 30 plus people. But first, let me find out from you, because now you've gone to all these countries. What have you found out new information?
You always do. Every one of them, there is something about the uniqueness of first of all, the people that you go like, I'm glad I'm here. And then the next is their own struggle. Every one of these countries have their own struggle in terms of international relations is a problem. You realize that some of these people some of the places we've been, are they really free the way they can be? And to what degree is the foreign influences affecting the governance and affecting the quality of life, and what are people are doing about it and stuff like that. So, there is always something you learn, so every African country is not the same. So it has always given me a joy to get to know my brothers and my sisters that I wouldn't have normally known because you haven't been there. If you haven't been there, you don't know much about them. So that's one of the things. And in terms of how we manage our people, we go as a family. Remember what I said earlier, our organization is all about family. By the time we even get to traveling, everybody already know everybody. It's like when we during the tour, there is no stranger. You know, you feel like you've known each other forever. And when we come back, we have a family called African Focus Trailblazers. These are people who have gone through the tours over the years, and we all stay together, you know. And so, to me, it's not a challenge when the next person is holding the next person's hand, is helping the next person, is talking to the next person. So you don't do a lot of babysitting of people because everybody is working together. Everybody sees each other for, you know, what we are, one family. So if you don't want to be a family, don't come to the tour with us because everybody is together. No, seriously.
Yes.
Because, you know, how can we live to the motherland and we are acting like we are strangers? Think about it.
Yes.
So by the time we actually, it takes about a year before the tour. When we announce the tour, it takes time, about 6-7 months. Within that period, we have series of meetings, we have series of activities that allow everybody to begin to bond and see each other as somebody who is my cousin or somebody I want to go with. And when we get there, it's just beautiful. And that's why more people are coming, and we're trying to minimize it. We no longer want to do more than a certain number at any given year because we have a lot of people that want to go, but we just want it to be meaningful and enjoyable for those who sign up early. And hopefully we can do a second tour, but right now we're just doing one a year to make sure everybody enjoys the trip and have a benefit of why they are traveling, you know.
Well, at least from what I saw from the programs that you have, people have really enjoyed it. They really learned a lot. And one of the things that you have emphasized and keep repeating, and I really appreciate this, is this concept of family. And you know, and the fact that you all have this family induction program that I think is just tremendously moving. I think underscores your whole emphasis around the family and making sure that we see ourselves as part of the same family. And as we move forward, I want to talk more with you about some of your favorite spots, some of the kind of things that you all do on these tours. And I want to make sure that we get all the information we can from you so that people can constantly stay in touch with you, and we can talk a lot more about when the next time you're going to be taking a tour. You're listening to First Things First, KBLA Talk 1580. I'm on with Uchenna and African Focus.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden used Labor Day to make his first joint appearance on the campaign trail with Vice President Kamala Harris since exiting the 2024 race. Speaking at a union rally in Pittsburgh, Biden focused on pro-labor policies and touted himself as the most pro-union president in history. The California legislature approved a decision to honor late baseball superstar African-American Willie Mays. They passed a resolution to rename a section of Interstate 80 in San Francisco as the Willie Mays Highway. It's located near Oracle Park. The Communications Workers of America is walking away from the table in negotiations with AT&T. The union released a statement Monday evening saying it's no longer interested in mediation with the communications company. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Get a Sleepy's Queen mattress at the lowest price ever, just $89.99. Offer ends Tuesday. In-store pickup only. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm during their Labor Day sale.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers beat Arizona Monday to take 3 out of 4 against the Diamondbacks in Phoenix. The Dodgers now have a 6-game lead over the Diamondbacks in the NL West. Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders became the first NCAA football player to sign an NIL deal with Nike. Nike signed Sanders to a name, image, and likeness contract to promote unveiled a new line of footwear and apparel. Shadua's father, Deion Sanders, had a Nike deal in the 1990s when he was an NFL cornerback. Former USC quarterback Caleb Williams was named one of 8 captains for the Chicago Bears. Williams is the first Bears rookie to be named a captain since the team started naming captains in 2007. One more quarterback note, 15 of the 32 NFL teams will begin the regular season with a black quarterback as their starter. That tops last year's number of 14. Later today, we'll give you the names of all 15 NFL black quarterbacks in the starting lineup for Week 1. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Mark your calendar for October 22nd. It's California Clean Air Day. When you go Metro, you'll enjoy free rides and help clear the air. We can reduce pollution and create a healthier environment together. Let's all ride for a cleaner tomorrow. Start your journey at metro.net.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've got a Pepto predicament, Beach Bum.
Hey, we're heading down to the beach. You coming?
Yeah, Dad. You coming?
I had a little too much to eat at the resort buffet. I need a minute.
Oh, you overdid it. And now your beach vacation is giving you belly waves. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can get back to making memories.
Let's go, Dad!
When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, USA. Welcome back to your home for unapologetically progressive radio, KBLA Talk 1580.
And welcome back to First Things First. I'm Baba Akili, and I'm filling in for Dominique DiPrima, KBLA Talk 1580. In Uchina, I'm on the phone with Uchina War Group, who is co-founder of African Focus Incorporated. And Uchina, I'm going to turn to the phones for a minute. We have Laura on the line. Welcome, Laura. Good morning to you. And what do you want to share with us?
Oh, good morning. Thank you. I just want to say I can't say enough about African Focus. They have changed the trajectory of my life.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, I started going on the trips in 2016, and I've been going on all of the trips. And after the first trip, I've, taken other people with me. In 2017, because of African Focus, I had my DNA tested, and I was inducted into the Cameroon family of Beltis and Estella. And, I've been involved with their dance competitions, volunteering, taking tickets, and I think the dance competition, African Dance Competition LA, ADCLA, is a great opportunity for people to showcase their African dance skills. And, just going on the trip, the African dance competition, the induction ceremony, it's just been so wonderful for me to be involved with African Focus.
Great. Let me ask you this, Laura. What prompted you to go in the first place? So you're sitting around the house saying, I want to go to Africa. Bam. And you decide to go. So what prompted it? What brought it on?
No. It wasn't like that. I'd heard Dominique DiPrima on the radio announcing their trip. And in that particular time when I heard it was May of 2016, which I was retiring from the county of Los Angeles. And I thought to myself, what better way to celebrate my emancipation from corporate America than to go to the motherland? Yeah. So that was my retirement trip to myself.
And then you went that first time and you said, I'm going again.
I couldn't stop going. It was so wonderful. It was just so eye-opening and, stimulating, empowering, all of that.
And name some of the countries you've been to.
Okay, I've been to Ghana, Ethiopia, Senegal, Gambia, Zanzibar, Tanzania, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya.
Wow. Okay.
Probably leave something out. And, Dominique and I joke about going to all the countries, all the 54 countries in Africa. Yes.
So how many more do you have to go to get there?
Oh, I have a lot to go, but the good thing about African Focus tours, you go to two or more countries in one trip.
Ah, okay. Well,
yeah.
Tina, you have a qualified and satisfied participant with you, and it appears. Now you started, you say, Laura, in 2016.
Yes, and that was their very first cultural tour. Yes.
Ah, okay, all right, and you. It sounds like you've been to all the countries that they've been to, and I want to ask both of you, if you will. Now, Uchenna, I know what country stands out for you. That would be Nigeria. But in the times that you both have been there, Laura and Uchenna, what are some of the countries and aspects of those countries that have stood out to you that you remember the most? Laura?
Okay, for me, Tanzania. Tanzania stood out for me because I really like the rustic old town. It's still in the same form that it was years ago, but I also like they also have a part on the beach that remind me of home, which remind me of Santa Monica Beach. Mm-hmm. And they had the music, the food vendors with all kind of exotic food laid out on the table, and it was just wonderful. And also, I learned that it's very, very inexpensive to live there. And it's something like $50 a month or something USD. So I was like, okay, this would be a place if I ever decided to move to Africa that I would consider.
All right. Uchenna, what has stood out for you? Yeah. What country, what has stood out for you?
Okay. What stood out for me is that I feel like when I'm in Tanzania, I feel like I'm in another part of Nigeria.
Okay.
So it wasn't too much shocking differences. I just feel like, if you know about Nigeria, we have the Igbos, Yorubas, we have different ethnic groups in Nigeria, right? So the same mode is like what you see throughout Africa. So when I'm in South Africa, other than the accent, I'm seeing my people, right? And when I go to Tanzania, it's still the same thing. So, but in terms of culture, I believe, to me, I don't want to say West Africa has some unique cultural experiences, but they do. So they do.
Yes.
What if it's Ghana, Nigeria, or Benin Republic or Senegal? They all have this unique cultural vibe that kind of brings you home. I guess because I'm from Nigeria, but other than that, you see your people all over. The food is amazing, more especially in Zanzibar. Zanzibar takes it all. I mean, their food, they don't cook with anything that is not natural. You know, when you drink apple juice, orange juice, you feel that you're drinking real juice, you know. So that's what stood out for me. Food-wise, I give it up to Zanzibar. You know, they know how to spice those food, organically. And, yeah, that's pretty much for me, But everywhere I go, I feel like I'm seeing my cousins, or I feel like I'm seeing another portion of Nigeria that I probably haven't been before. Because we're all Africans, so I don't see much of a difference, really.
And Laura, what was eye-opening, like in 2016? Here you are. This is I think you said this was your first trip. What was kind of eye-opening? What was like, oh, really? This is what it's like. So what was kind of eye-opening? What was the aha for you?
Okay, so like Lieutenant just said, you see when you go any African country, let alone the very first one I went to, Ghana, you're going to see your cousin, your uncle, your friend, your coworker. Like, that person looks just like so-and-so.
Yes.
And that is so amazing about it to me, because there are, and then I really, like I said, I really appreciate Uchenna, who married an African-American woman and bridged the gap between Africans and African-Americans. There's a lot of African-Americans who, I hate to say this, but don't believe they're African. I mean, they don't relate. They know they're African, I guess, but they don't relate. And I always tell them, if you don't believe you're African, go get your DNA tested. You'll find out you're African, okay? You're just African who was born in America, So the eye-opening thing for me, like I said, was seeing all my relatives there, my friends, and somebody that looked just like somebody I know. And that's in all the country.
Well, I experienced that also. When I was both in Nigeria and in Ghana, I swear I saw people I knew. I was like, oh, that looks just like that's, and that sense of I've been here before, or I know these people. I mean, that's one of the things that kind of was eye-opening for me when I went to both Nigeria and Ghana. And I'm looking forward to getting to Senegal and some of the other ones. Let me, as we move forward, I want to talk a little bit about planning for this and how long does it take, and about some of the kind of gap bridging that we can do on the U.S. side to kind of bridge some of the gaps in the assumption that too often is made. African Americans make about Africans, and Africans may make about African Americans. So as we move forward, KBLA Talk 1580, First Things First. I'm here with Uchenna and Laura, and we're talking about African Focus Incorporated.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
but it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys.
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
Mark your calendar for October 22nd. It's California Clean Air Day. When you go Metro, you'll enjoy free rides and help clear the air. We can reduce pollution and create a healthier environment together. Let's all ride for a cleaner tomorrow. Start your journey at metro.net.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And welcome back. KBLA Talk 1580, First Things First. I'm Baba Akili. I'm sitting in for Dominique DiPrima, and we're talking with Uchenna Nwangwu, the co-founder of African Focus Incorporated, and with Lori James, who's been going with African Focus now since, 2016. And we're talking about traveling to the continent, making relationships with the continent, connecting and reconnecting with our family. Uchenna, I want to ask you a question. So here we go. We're like, okay, where are we going? We're going to this place. When does the planning start? What do you all do? How do you put all the pieces together to make this work?
Well, it's a little bit of a puzzle. First is we'll decide on the organizational level which country are we going to go and why. You know, everybody have their own input in the matter in terms of those who are planning it. You know, from Dominique to bring her own perspective, Emily, myself, and then we bounce it around people that also, you know, like I said, we're not a family. You know, we see where people want to go. We see what is available. There's a lot of consideration we consider about security. We consider about what is the benefit or the cultural benefit, and how can we just don't go to some of these places and just take and take their culture. We go also and give back. So we identify 4 things. People on vacation, so you want to make them feel like, you know, pamper them as well. They need to be in one of the best hotels and, you know, feel like they're on vacation as well. So we look at that, where we will stay, what kind of environment, and you know, the things that we can accomplish there. Then we look and see, okay, if we go there, there are children there are schools, there are orphanages. What can we do to leave for those kids that we're going to visit. So we look into charity giving, which is unwrapping a smile. And, we call it unwrap a smile during our tours, where we go to orphanages and give gifts and bless the children, local kids or local schools. So we consider that. Then we consider the cultural benefits of the tour. Can we relate to the people? How can our money, we buy local, we support local. All our local restaurants, all our local businesses that we patronize has to be local because we want to give back to the community, right? So those things are factored in when we begin to design the tour. And when once a place is announced or agreed upon or identified, then the next step would be to announce it to the community, the pricing, and people now can sign up and make payments. So it's not something, it's something you can have a payment plan that you can be putting money into your tour every month. You have about 6 months or 7 months to complete your payment. So it makes it easy and accessible, attainable for our people to be able to fund their tours. And as a non-profit, because our goal, like I mentioned earlier, is not a profit-driven, is to make sure that we make going to the continent more attractive and more affordable. So it's very affordable given the benefit and given the services that we provide. We make sure that our people can afford it and then enjoy a high world-class tourism that provide them everything that they would have imagined. So that's how we come up with where we go and what we do when we get there.
Well, according to Lori, you all do a good job. Now, Lori, you said you've been going, have you gone every year since 2016? Lori? Hello?
Yes, I have. I'm sorry, I had it muted. Yes, I have been going every year, and like Uchenna said, besides the cultural aspect of it, it's the charitable aspect of it. So many of the travelers have donated so much, and they have donated water tanks. So you may go to a certain country and see your name on a water tank because you donated a water tank to a community that really needs water. Their desks and buildings with my name on it from donations. And the charitable part about it, you see children hammering in line for a piece of Jolly Rancher candy because they don't get candy there. That candy is a luxury.
That may be good.
Right. And, to have a soccer ball. I remember the very first time we went to Ghana, the first tour, they didn't have black Barbie dolls. So we donated black Barbie dolls. So it's just the charitable aspect of it is just so amazing.
And that being able to do good and to do well is clearly one of the benefits of going. Let me ask both of you, if I may, what are some of the misnomers, poor information, bad information that we share, both African Americans to Africans and Africans to African Americans? Because this sounds like in many ways a goodwill expression, particularly with the focus on families. So what are some of the assumptions that you have to deal with, that you have to work with people on this side and that side?
Oh, that is, even when we started this program 25 years ago, which is, it has always been an issue. I remember in the early stage of setting up this African family induction, which brings in the continental families and the diaspora into one family, there was quite a pushback on both sides. I talk about it all the time because it's facts. You had the African community here, some of the leaders were, not ready to accept their own cousins. They say, you mean we're going to be in the same meeting because we all have family meetings and stuff like that, organizations, with these people, how are you going to do that? How are we going to do that? because they are afraid of their own cousins, right? And then you, on the African American side, I remember meeting some of the community leaders too, letting them know this program is coming. Some of them say, you can't do that. We've worked so hard to be American. Now you want to take us back. You know, we Americans. We want to keep all the gains we've made. We're not going back to Africa. To me, you can tell right there that these two families, this one family, two brothers, or, you know, there is misunderstanding who they really are. And that even made me not stop doing the induction. It actually inspired me to do it because here you have the continental Africans afraid of their cousins, and here you have the cousins that don't want to go back to the continent because they think they've made gains in America. They want to keep the American gain, as if being an African stops you from being an American. You know, you cannot, nobody going to deny the work, the sacrifice our forefathers, you know, more especially our cousins who are our forefathers in this country made to build this continent, you know, build this country. So you still can be an African and be an American. That doesn't change who you are.
One of the things that's
one of the things that we've come across. But so far, people in my community now, like you see last Saturday, a lot of people from the community are changing their perspective on both sides. There is much more understanding. People are more willing to listen. People are more willing to hear more about Africa. But it doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of work being done in many community organizations on both sides, promoting Africa, promoting the family structure of Africa and how we are all one family.
Well, let me ask you this as we move to the top of the hour. How do we get in touch with Africa Incorporated? I mean, Africa Focus Incorporated. How do we get in touch with you? What are some of the? Are you all going to be meetings shortly? To start planning your trips. So give us all of your social media handles, everything, so that we can get in touch and stay in touch with you.
Yes. Well, we can be reached at africanfocus.org, www.africanfocus.org, or the phone number is 310-676-7300. And
say that number again.
Dominique, 310-676-7300. Yes. The tour, we're going to be announcing, Dominique will be announcing the tour. So keep tuned. Keep listening to Dominique. You're going to probably be one of the first people to know when once she drops it, and trying to sign up as soon as possible. That's all I can say on that. And as far as the induction ceremony, it is every African-American natural right to be inducted. The only way you can participate in induction ceremony is that you lost your heritage due to slavery. So it's your natural right.
Well, I want to thank you both for joining us. Laura James for calling in and giving your experience. Uchenna, thank you all. Thank you so much. And we want to make sure that people keep in touch with you and know how to get in touch with you. KBLA Talk 1580. This is First Things First. My name's Baba Akili. I'm sitting in for Dominique DiPrima. This has been a great time for me. I've truly enjoyed it. I look forward to being back here all the time. Once again, KBLA Talk 1580. First Things First. Thank you all so much.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike late baseball superstar African-American Willie Mays. They passed a resolution to rename a section of Interstate 80 in San Francisco as the Willie